Dear officers, a very good evening to one and all. I hope all of you have all of you had a very good time with festivals. Okay. So at the outset, let me tell you a very important thing. You are all very fortunate for having taken public administration as the optional. You are very, very fortunate because you have taken public administration. You may ask me, sir, like how? Public administration is an optional for the public administrators. It is for all the civil servants. Nothing in the syllabus will be a waste. IAS, Indian Administrative Service. The name of our second paper itself is Indian Administration. Indian Administrator. Should you be reading Indian Administration or not? There is nothing in the syllabus. There is nothing in the syllabus which is irrelevant for your examination also. It's a very, very simple one. The only things which you will be studying other than those things which are there in your GS are only about 3 chapters. They are very simple. A chapter about motivation, leadership, which has a great practical application. Here in this regard, you have to think over as to what is this, how to build upon. Mugging up the things won't have like good impact in all the subjects, especially in public administration. Here the concepts are very, very simple. There is nothing difficult at all in this one. But you should know the crux, the essence. So coming back to the syllabus, please keep these two things in your mind. The whole public administration revolves around two mega concepts. I repeat, you may note down this. Two major components, two most important things in public administration syllabus are: number one, administration; number two, organization. If you have a fair understanding of these two, most of the work with respect to manageable aspects are done with. Administration is a bigger one. In that, one of type is public administration. Organization is a broader concept. In that, one of the type of organization is government organization. Are you able to correlate the things? So administration and organization. So here we are entirely dealing with administration and organization in generic terms, in general terms. In chapter number 2 and 3, administrative thought and administrative behavior. So here don't mix polity. They're not directly related to this. And chapter number 1 deals with public administration as a subject. From 1887 to till date, what does public administration as a subject deal with? That's it. Other than some minor things, all are related to Indian administration or polity. Right? Now, the most important thing which you should be doing is imagining the concept of organization. Imagining the concept of organization. Before that, please answer, what is administration? I expect only keywords. What is administration? Why administration? What is the need of administration? Please let me know. What is administration? What is the need of administration? Okay. We got an answer. Okay. Executive framing of policies, not okay. Like nearly. What is administration? What is the meaning of administration? What will happen if there is no administration? So here, please listen to me. So here, management of affairs. Okay. So I have given key terms. Please keep this in mind. To achieve, please listen to me. We have administration to achieve a common goal. Clear? Why we have administration? What is the need of administration? To achieve a common goal. How to achieve the common goal? By coordinating the efforts of all. Clear? Very important. With respect to administration, why? What is the work of administration? Why administration is to achieve a goal. How this goal is achieved? First and foremost, by coordination, by bringing in coordination and cooperation among the members. Right? Administration involves many aspects like planning, organizing, budgeting, coordinating, many things. Clear? Any doubt with respect to these things? So this is the way you have to study. In reaching the goals, administration uses organization. Organization includes sum total of all human and material resources. Sambhavam is an organization. Government is an organization. Wipro, Infosys is an organization. So in this regard, there are two models of organization. One is said to be open model and another is said to be closed model. Now we are discussing three important theories with respect to closed model. The most important model in closed system in the whole of UPSC syllabus and also equally in public administration is bureaucracy. First model is bureaucracy. Second model is scientific management. Third is said to be classical theories or administrative management. Both mean the same. Clear? Now, please listen to me. A very important concept with respect to bureaucracy, and you should answer this. What is bureaucracy? Now, think that you are given all the authority. You have got the goal. You already have framed the goals that have to be reached. You already know the means and ways also. I repeat, think that you are given an opportunity to form an organization. Why this organization? This organization is just to implement the rules and regulations. Then what is the nature of organization which emerges is said to be bureaucratic organization. Let me simplify the things. We have got constitution. Under the constitution, to implement the constitution, laws are made. To implement the constitution and the laws, rules and regulations are made. So now everything is ready. Everything is ready. We have got a constitution. We have got laws, rules, and regulations. What is the objective of these things? To bring about justice, equality, liberty, and fraternity among the people. For that, we need an organization. That organization is bureaucratic organization. Now think of the nature of the organization, the structure of organization. Are you getting the point, or did you confuse? Please let me know. Okay, I repeat. Okay. So here you have got constitution, laws, rules, and regulations, everything are present. Now we need one organization to effectively implement these things. Then you tell me what are the qualities that have to be there in that organization. Is my question clear to you? Please imagine and come up with an organization to implement the rules and regulations which are already formed. What should be the nature of people who are working? So please do answer, like as I proceed. Nature of people, should those people be taken on merit system? Now please answer, like I'll give the clues also. So we need an organization. So in that, to implement the rules and regulations and the constitution, what should be the nature of people, personnel present? Should that be based on merit based, or should it be based on the liking and disliking of anyone? So merit based. Then should the people in that organization be daily wages or contract basis or career basis? Is my point clear to you? In that organization, which is the most appropriate? Should the workers be on contract basis? Should the worker be on daily basis or career basis? Career basis is the correct one. Because what is career? Career is something where a person, an individual, spends considerably long period of time, considerable amount of time, considerable span of his life. And most importantly, in career system, there is promotion. So now you have given the answer. So these are the things we expect in an organization where already the things are determined. Rules, regulations, objectives, goals, everything is determined. We just need an organization. What are the properties which should be present in that organization? Putting all these things together gives you a bureaucratic organization. Clear? Next one. Next one. Next one, we have got scientific management. Please think it over. This is a very profound one. Even if you read like 10-15 times, you won't get this concept. Next, we have got scientific management. What is scientific management? Scientific management is one best way. How to find one best way of doing anything? Please think it over. How can we find one best way of doing something? Whatever may be. Timing, okay. Okay, now please answer this. Keep that aside. What is the scientific way to learn or master anything? What is the scientific way to master anything? Dear students, learn the basics. Learn the basic. Don't try to learn everything at a time. How to get first rank in civil service? Read, revise, write, basics, very good. How to get first rank in civil service? So now, very important, listen to me. This is the scientific way to get first rank. If you follow this, definitely you will get rank. What is the scientific way? What is the one best way to get IAS? What is the one best way to get first rank? First of all, as I told you should master the basics. You should master the basics. What do you mean by that? First of all, master the syllabus. Is this clear to you? First of all, master the syllabus. If you have not mastered the syllabus, you have not mastered the very basic, very fundamental. You will be reading, but you won't be knowing what you are reading. Syllabus. Then afterwards, master the previous year questions. So how to master these things? Simplify the syllabus and simplify the previous year questions and have a regular timetable every day. Every day. Don't read anything. Don't read anything. Just read the syllabus and the previous year questions daily to begin with. The third thing here is you should have conceptual clarity of all the terms present in the syllabus. I have come across many students who are not aware of the terms which are present in the syllabus. They're not able to say what is federalism. They're not able to say what is communism, what is capitalism. Simply like they just have come. So these three fundamentals should be mastered. I'll give a very good analogy for this one. If you read more and more, you will confuse more and more. Read less, but conceptual clarity. Afterwards, you build upon. Let me give two important examples. A 5-year, a 10-year child speaks better English if that boy or girl is born and brought up in London or England or any Western country where English is spoken than ourselves, who have been reading, writing, and teaching in English for past 40-45 years. Why is this so? The baby masters the basics first. First learns only one alphabet, A, A. Afterwards, for this, it will add one more, that is Amma, Mom. So then it just plays on with only two alphabets. Afterward, three, afterwards, four. Have you noticed this? Over a period of time, building upon that, it becomes fluent. Dear students, you also should master the fundamentals and build upon that. So coming back to our scientific management. So scientific management simply means one best way of doing the things. In this point of time, you have to keep one thing in mind, that is, what is the time? What is the duration? What is the period during which this was proposed? This was like in the very first decade of the 19th century. What was the position there? Right? So now, today I will be explaining the things which we have already discussed in a very simplified way, and also very important. Here, for me, the most important concern is that you get rank, not completing the syllabus of public administration. So here, some of you have not understood the logic, the philosophy behind my teaching. It's a journey till you write mains, not just completing the syllabus. Completing the syllabus is very easy, but I want to be there till you write the mains examination and come up with flying colors. Because one of the most important aspect here is I have got some mastery, some expertise, not because I am more intelligent, no, just because I have been in this field for last 20-25 years. That's the only reason, right? So let me share the slides for you. Okay. Okay. So is the screen visible to you all? So see here, properties of bureaucracy. An organization which has the following structural properties: division of labor, hierarchy, system of rules, role specificity, and the behavioral characteristics, that is with respect to personal, rationality, impersonality, rule orientation, and neutrality, is the best suited to implement any rule regulation. So here, as I already have told, civil servant. So often student ask this question, sir, what should be the role of a civil servant? So here, role of a civil servant is simply follow the rules, regulations, laws. That is the reason chapter number 6, ethics in public administration, in your GS4 syllabus mentions that laws, rules, regulation has source of ethical guidance. What should be the source of ethical guidance? Implying what is ethical for a civil servant? Following the laws, rules, and regulation is ethical for a civil servant. Why is this? Because we have got the constitution, we have got the laws, rules, and regulations well defined to achieve the goals of justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity to all its people. I repeat, we got a constitution, law, everything we are already having. So here goal is already fixed. This is the goal. So this is the path. This is the end. These are the means. Now we need an organization which can implement these laws, which can implement the constitution so that we reach the goal or the objective. For that, an organization should have all these properties. One referring to the physical aspect, that is structure, the other referring to the behavioral aspect. So in this, to implement the laws, rules and regulation, there should be division of work. When there is division of work, what is the use of division of work? Please answer this. Why we need division of work? What happens if there is division of work? Division of work leads to efficiency, economy. How? Better efficiency, economy. Very nice. How? Okay, please listen to me. Okay, division of burden. Oh, now please listen to me. Division of work. Say, for example, this is the work. This work is divided. Divided. So here, one person is assigned only one kind of work. Means he will be doing only 25%. Another, just another 1/4, that is 25%. Another 1/4, 1/4. So here the work is divided among 4 people. So here, since an individual is doing a small portion of the work repeatedly, this leads to specialization. Is the concept clear to you? Because of division of work, specialization happens. Because of specialization, efficiency, economy, all these things comes into play. Hierarchy. So here, hierarchy is the most important aspect. What is hierarchy? What is hierarchy? In hierarchy, each subordinate is under the direct control and supervision, direct control and supervision of the superior. Superior. So what does this mean? A person who is here will be having direct control and supervision, control and supervision on the person who is below. These people will have the control and supervision on the people who are below. So here there is a chain happening. He is controlling this person, he is controlling this person, he is controlling this person, he is controlling this person. By this way, a single individual at the top will be in a position to control lakhs and crores of people. These are the very important things with respect to the structural properties which we have already discussed. So division of work, hierarchy, there should be system of rules and the role specificities should be there. Then coming to the behavioral characteristics, rationality based on logic, based on reason, based on empirical evidences. So this is with respect to behavior of the people. Impersonality. So what is the object? What is the opposite of impersonality? Partisan. And a person should be rule oriented and you should be neutral. So these are the characteristics of bureaucracy. Now, coming to the next one, scientific management. Scientific management is one of the closed model and it is popularly known as time and motion studies. So you have to go back to like 120 years back. Time and motion studies. Based on that, one best one best way of doing the work are found out. Analysis of workflow processes has the means of rising organization productivity. How to increase the productivity? By time and motion studies. Scientific management is one best way of doing the work. Okay. Scientific management. Here, Tyler was not the first person. There were many people like Charles Babbage and many others. But a concrete form to this model was given by Tyler. He has a great experience. At the age of 18, for 4 years, he joined as an apprentice for learning. Then labor, then as chief engineer, then as general manager, then as research worker. So these are the things which you have to keep in mind to answer any question on scientific management. So here, what is the most important thing which you have to keep? Here, Tyler is having all kinds of experience. What does this mean? See, here as an apprentice, he is learning for 4 years. Afterwards, as a worker, he worked lower level. Afterwards, as a chief engineer. Afterwards, manager. Afterwards, doing research on the work. So now research is there, management is there, administration of the things, labor, apprentice, everything is there. So based on all these things, Tyler gave his principles. By the end of 19th century and the beginning of the 20th century, in organizations, loss of production, there was loss of production because of inefficiency. So what is this period? This was the period end of 19th century. This is the period in which there was loss of production. What were the causes of loss of production? Just keep these things in mind. They are pretty simple. So here, what are the major causes? So this will discuss. Tyler, what he did is he found solution to all these causes. That's it. That is the only thing. At this time, scientific management emerged in concrete form to make organization efficient by increasing the production. During this time, this is the basis for our next journey in scientific management. During this period, there was loss of production and there was inefficiency in organizations. So here, Tyler tried his best to increase the efficiency, thereby making the organization profitable by increasing the production. So organizations were inefficient. Why? So these are the reasons. One is rule of thumb. Rule of thumb means that which is not based on research. Say for example, manager 1, he came. According to him, this is the way of doing a job. This is the best way. So he adopted this. Somehow he got promoted or something like that. Manager 2 came. According to manager, this is the way to do the thing best. So here they are not basing the things on scientifical. experiments, empirical experiments, rule of thumb. Then there were reasons with respect to managers also, with respect to workmen also. There were some reasons with respect to manager and workmen, and with respect to organization also. I have simplified these things in a very, very precise way. That is in just like taking the keywords. So coming to the managers. At this point of time, so this is the time 1850 to 1910. At this time, managers were lazy. Were lazy. They were not active. They were not guiding the workers. So workers worked on their own initiative. Say, for example, think that you have to build a compound wall. You are the manager here. And here there are some workers. But you are very lazy. You are not directing the workers as to how to build. So workers are doing the work on their own initiative, the way they want. And another reason for inefficiency and low production were incentives, maybe in the form of money, was based on attendance. A worker comes at 10 o'clock and goes home at 5 o'clock. So all these workers were given the same amount, say for example, 500 rupees. So here, what is the mistake which is there? What is causing inefficiency? Taylor just solved these things. Rule of thumb was there. In this place, he brought scientific methods. So managers were lazy. They were not guiding the workers. So he asked the managers to guide the workers. And he, in fact, said that workers should not initiate the work. And incentive mechanism, just for attendance, he was getting money. He brought in what is known as piece rate system. Piece rate system means your salary will be based on how much work you have done. If you have done more work, then more salary. If you have done less work, then less salary. If you have built 100 square feet of wall, then you will be getting 100 rupees. If you have built five just 50 square feet wall, you'll be getting 50 rupees. Are you noticing how Tyler is taking everything into consideration and bringing efficiency? Next, managers were putting the burden on the workmen. Generally, it happens everywhere. If something goes wrong, the people at the lower echelon will be blamed at, will be targeted. For this, Taylor said that no, the burden should be equally shared. If something goes wrong, if an organization inefficient, then the responsibility should be taken by both the manager and the worker. Previously, the managers were less cooperative in comparison to the workers. So he rectified these things. These were the reasons for inefficiency in organization. In addition, there was what is known as soldering. This is a technical term used by Tyler itself. Soldering simply means reduction in output. In an organization, because of soldering practiced by the workers, there was reduction in output. So in soldering, what is soldering? Soldering simply means reduction of output. What are two types? One is natural soldering and another is systemic soldering. What is this systemic soldering? How is this happening? Systemic soldering is practiced by the workmen to keep the supervisor's expectations of the work performance at lower levels. What is this? How? Let me give an example. Think. So it is a field, agriculture field. Think that 20 workers have come to work in the agriculture field. Think that in that one person is working very good. Means think that in 1 hour he is producing say 10 units of output. Please listen to me. One person is producing 10 units of output in 1 hour. 18 people are producing 5 units per hour. And there is another one person who is producing only 2 units of output per hour. So here, what will happen? These people, they criticize and they bring the pressure in such a way that this person who is working, who is producing 10 units of output, won't be producing that. They will criticize that. They will be called red busters. So what this person will do? He won't do 10 units. He will come to 5 units. A person who is not working, who is producing just 2 units, will also be criticized. So he makes sure that he also produces 5 units per hour. Have you noticed this? Did you understand this concept? Now just have the concept clear. I'll give all the material, you can read about this. Any doubt here? So soldering means reduction of output. There are two ways. One is natural and another is systemic. In case of natural soldering, the reasons are tendency on the part of workers to restrict the output. This is soldering. So with respect to natural soldering, it is the result of personal factors. So natural is because of personal factors like habit of take it easy, not over exerting, not putting full effort. ए कुछ नहीं करेगा, पढ़ने का जरूरत नहीं है. Take it easy. Why you are worried? And so on. And systemic is because of the organization and the social factors, the societal group factors. If we remove this thing, you can increase the output. Always there was a conflict between managers and workers. What was the reason? Both managers and workers thought that their interests are opposite, antagonistic. Both managers and workmen thought that the mutual interests are antagonistic. What do you understand by mutual interest? The interest of worker is opposite to the interest of manager. So there was individualism. What does this mean? Here, workers were trying to increase their interests, maximize their interests. Managers were trying to maximize their interest. Because of that, there was conflict. Always there was a conflict between the workers and the managers. This was the reason for inefficiency in the organization. What was the reason for the conflict? The main reason for the conflict is both managers and workmen thought that their interests are antagonistic or opposite to each other. So how to remove this weakness? Because of that, inefficiency will be there, production will be less. For that, Tyler brought the concept of mental revolution. Mental revolution. What is this mental revolution? So here, mutual interests of the workers and the managers are not opposite, but in fact complementary. That is the thought here. Organization, because of all these things, output was restricted. Right? So here, please listen to me. We started with this concept. By the end of 19th century, organizations were inefficient. What were the causes? Rule of thumb, and with respect to managers, and with respect to workers, and with respect to managers and workmen, and the organization output. Now, you tell me how to resolve this problem. This is what Tyler did. So, rule of thumb. So, in place of rule of thumb, what should be there? Scientific management. Right? So, let us take these things one by one and let us discuss. Right? Before we get into these things, first of all, we should understand the assumption made. What is the basis on which the principles are evolved? There should be some assumptions, right? Say, for example, many take up public administration, many take up anthropology, many take up political science. Why? Because they have some assumptions. Small syllabus, he got first rank, he got second rank. So here too, Tyler made some assumptions. What were they? Organization's function can be improved by the application of scientific methods, not rule of thumb. So first one is application of scientific methods. Second, good worker is one who does not initiate action but accept the orders of the management. Why is this? Because managers have expertise in this. Managers are the people who have been doing these things for past. They have knowledge, they have experience. They can interrelate the things so that we can reach the goal easily. So application of scientific management, good worker is one who does not initiate, means who does not do his work on his own, but accepts the orders. Every worker is an economic man. That is, he is motivated by monetary factors. Right? So based on this, what are the principles we can draw upon? Every worker is an economic man. Economic man means he is motivated by monetary factors. So how to make the worker work more? Give money. The more the money you give, the more work the worker does. The worker should just listen the orders of management. Just listen the orders of management. In case of rule of thumb, it has to be replaced by application of scientific management. These are the small things once again. What are the principles of scientific management? Science of work, not rule of thumb. Method of procedure based on experience and common sense. General principle regarded as roughly correct, but not intended to be scientifically accurate. So this is the exact meaning of rule of thumb. Rule of thumb, andaza, not scientifically proved. It is based on common sense. So ऐसा करने से प्रोडक्शन अच्छा होगा. That's it. That is rule of thumb. So what will happen if we have all this kind of thing? If the organization is based on rule of thumb, the organization results in inefficiency. Organizations run on rule of thumb will be unorganized, unstructured, unregulated, ad hoc, means temporary. And they will be doing the work in an unscientific way. Right? See here, the things are very, very interlinked. You have to understand the thing. Now, principles of scientific management. So what is the basis for this scientific management principles? The assumptions made and what are the goals to increase the efficiency of the organizations, thereby increasing the output of the organization. So ultimately, output of organization should increase. That can happen by increasing the efficiency of the worker. So here, first number one, work. Scientific way, one best way of doing the work should be found out. So with respect to work, it is over. Then comes the second one, worker. So here, scientifically select, train, teach, and develop the workman. Say, for example, there is a work which is requiring physical strength. There is a work which is requiring to put the things on the top or loading the things. Say, for example, above 5 feet. So definitely you have to scientifically select those people who are more than 5 feet. Just think that a person who is just 4 feet, though he may be equally stronger, he won't be able to do that work. Clear? So here, first select them, appropriate people, then train them, teach them, and develop the workmen. This is what is done everywhere. Say, for example, like a student of mine was telling that he was waiting for a call letter from Infosys. So Infosys, like what they are doing, he told me the procedure. This you can apply here. 6 weeks of online training. Online training. 6 weeks means nearly 1.5 months. No pay for this. That is 10 to 5, 10 to 5, 6 weeks. After that, training will be there in Mysore, in-house. In Mysore, in-house training. There they will give certain money, amount of money. That will be there for 6 months. After that, they will be given projects. So here they are selecting students from engineering background. They are not taking arts background students. They are training them. They are teaching them and developing the workman. Okay. Then After doing all these things, if they are unable to reach the standard or unwilling to produce the standards, what is the best way? Just remove them, right? So now one part work is over, scientific one. Workman who does this work is done in the most efficient way. Now bringing these two, work and workman, together is the third. Bringing the together science of work and the scientifically selected workman. Then afterwards, mental revolution. Previously, as we discussed, managers and workers were antagonistic. There was always conflict. What was the reason for the conflict? What was the reason for the conflict between managers and workers? They thought that mutual interests are opposite, antagonistic. Because of mental revolution, a new outlook is brought, new way of thinking is brought, where both managers and workers think that their individual interests are complementary. Complementary. There must be equal division of work and responsibility between the management and worker. So here the managers were putting the blame on the workers. To avoid that, this is. So is it clear? In a very scientific way, in a systematic way, I have explained. So I have taken what were the problems. Afterwards, how to solve them. This is what was done by Tyler. Tyler took the problems and he gave the solution. So these are the principles. Right? Any doubt here? If you have got any doubt, please let me know. Okay. So these were the techniques. Then now coming to those were the principles. Then coming to the techniques. Simple motion study. Studying the motion. So after that, calculating the time. What is the appropriate motion? Say for example, writing. Can we write better if we hold the marker or pen here? So we have to write, hold it properly. Similarly, the motions of anything with respect to work, they have to be studied. Then time. What is the time required for each element of the work? Functional foremanship. So foreman simply means worker. I'll explain this. Then differential piece rate system. Piece rate system means giving the money based on the amount of work you have done. Differential piece rate system means different piece rates based on the amount of work you have done. So here, by using time and motion study, they'll find a standard. Above this standard, high piece rate. Below this piece rate, low piece rate. Why is this? Previously, a worker was getting salary just by attendance, for attendance. If you just come by 10 and if you are still like till 5 o'clock you are there, then you should be getting the wages. To overcome that, this was done. Next, exceptional principle. So here exceptional principle simply means that don't disturb or don't interfere. Don't interfere in the work of a worker who is working at standard. You should be concerned about only those workers who are away from or deviation from the standard. What does this mean? Say, for example, there is a classroom. In this classroom, think that there are 100 students. 80% of the students are working at the standard level. Don't disturb them. 10% of the students are working superb. So give them some extra training and see that they get state rank, top rank. Another 10% are below the standard. So give them special coaching so that they reach the standard. That is exception principle in simple words. So motion study, best motion is the preferred work method. Time study, determination of the standard time to complete the work. Functional foremanship. Foremanship simply means supervisor. Functional foremanship. This concept rejected unity of command because it is against the principle of specialization. I'll explain this. One foreman means one worker should be supervised. One foreman should supervise one particular only. So what is this? Functional foreman. One foreman, supervisor. Foreman means supervisor. Should supervise one particular function only. That is said to be functional foreman. According to Taylor, there should be 8 foremen. Means 8 supervisor. 4 for planning and 4 for execution. What does this mean? Coming to the concept of unity of command. Unity, one. Command, Unity of command simply means that one worker, a worker should receive orders or command from one superior only. So what is unity of command? According to this concept, a worker has to receive command from one superior only. That is unity of command. It is in fact a principle also. So here, in fact, Tyler was against this principle. Let me explain this concept. What is the utility of unity of command? Think that there is a typist. For this typist, think manager 1 will come and assign some work. Another person X, say for example, will take IAS aspects itself. Think that there is an IAS institution and there is a typist. Number 1, teacher who teaches the faculty gives some work to the typist. So afterwards, administration, people in administration give them some work. Then afterwards, some other person, say for example, accounting department, that person he gives another work. So here what will happen to this person? Not only that, with respect to the position, here when the typist is not working or when the teacher asks, Dear typist, why you have not typed? He says that accounting people came and they said that you have to do this. I'm doing that, so I couldn't do. Are you getting the concept? This is said to be unity of command. In simple word, one worker should receive orders or command from one person only. Otherwise, there will be confusion. There will be inefficiency. But Tyler objected to this. So in place of that, he brought functional foremanship. What is this functional foremanship? So here it is having 8 supervisors. These 8 supervisors, they will be having specialization in 8 activities. And this person will be looking into the one activity of all the people. One foreman should supervise one particular function only. Right? So, how many of you got the concept and how many got confused? Shall I explain it again or have you understood? Okay, great. Very nice. So, to make things simple, what is this functional foremanship? Say, for example, there is a student preparing for IAS exam. This student should get guidance, orders, and command from one person only. One person should be supervised by one person only. That is said to be unity of command. On the other hand, you have got functional foremanship. In this concept, say for example, a student is preparing for IAS exam. There will be 8 supervisors. One supervisor maybe for like answer writing, another supervisor with respect to the motivational aspects, another with respect to one optional, another with respect to GS1, another 2, 3 essay, things like that. So here, one supervisor, foreman should supervise one particular function only. That is the one. Different piece rate system, different pay for different workers. Previously, all were given the same remuneration by pay by piece rates. So what does this mean? Say for example, there are 10 teachers. All the teachers are given same amount of money. Say for example, think hypothetically, think that X amount of money per hour. All. So X amount of money per hour is given for all teachers. That was the previous concept. So in pace rate, based on the criteria, based on how a teacher teaches, if a teacher teaches good, he should be given X plus. If a teacher is not teaching properly, X minus. Pay on the basis of standards set by motion and time studies. So pay plan was known as differential piece rate system. Different people were getting different money. This was based on motion and time studies. Under this plan, workers were paid a low price at the standard, large bonus at the standard. Sorry. Under this plan, workers are paid low price up to a standard. Till you reach a standard, low piece rate. Large bonus at the standard after reaching the standard. High price rate above the standard. right? Think that like 5 units of work per hour is the standard. So here, if you are working below this standard, so you'll be getting low piece rate. At this, you will be getting bonus. More than this, you will have high piece rate. So what are the benefits? So here, this plan of payment makes the worker put forth their best efforts. Because immediate gratification, it is direct and quick. So more effective than profit sharing plan in motivating the worker. So this may be asked, how is differential piece rate system useful, or what are the advantages of differential piece rate system over profit sharing? So what happens in profit sharing? After you get the profit, that profit will be shared with the workers. It will take time. It is not direct. It is not quick. Okay. Exception principle, like it simply says, those who are working in the standard, those who are at standard, don't disturb them. You have to be concerned with only exceptions, right? So here, when we look into these techniques, what is that you observe? This is one of the important one. This defines the most important limitation of this scientific management. What is this? So in this technique, these techniques are intended to make human beings as efficient as machines, to make humans more like machines, sit like a rock, work like a clock. So here you have to work like a clock. You have to be efficient like a machine. So here you are just thought as some inhuman person, as a machine. This is the reason it is said to be a mechanistic model. Is this clear to you? In all these techniques, there is an element of humanness missing. What is the reason for low production? They are finding it outside humans. Here, they say that humans get motivated only by money. That is one of the defects. Here, they are concerned with only those aspects of behavior which is related to production. They are not concerned with the psychological aspects, right? So, criticism or negatives or the oppositions. So, these are often asked in the examination. It is criticized as a partial theory of the organization. So, what does this mean? It is not complete theory, partial theory. Why? It is concentrating on the shop floor, that is the lower level. So, in an organization, you are concentrating on this workers, how to make these workers more efficient, like a machine, so that organizational output is increased. And neglect of organizational process beyond that level. So you are not concentrating on the organizational processes, the things happening in the organization above shop floor. So very important, you may note this. It is criticized as partial theory of organization. Why? Because it's concentrated only on shop floor. Number one, concentrated on shop floor. Number two, neglected those areas other than shop floor. That is beyond this level, the things was not taken into consideration. It did not stress on the integration and coordination of the higher level of the organization. So here a very simple one, partial theory, because it just concentrated on shop floor, neglected on higher. That is one aspect. Second is no integration and coordination of the higher level, right? Next, mechanistic theory. Mechanistic theory. He is not putting his heart and soul. He is doing the work mechanically. Means he is doing the thing like a machine. Criticized as a mechanistic theory of organization as is neglected the human side of the organization. In other words, it interpreted organization efficiency in mechanic terms only. It treated workers as machines. It wanted to make workers as efficient as machines and sought to make him as efficient as machine itself. Because of all these things, obviously, it was criticized by the workers. So here, with respect to mechanistic theory, why it was said to be mechanistic theory? Because it was treating workers as machines. Number one. By this, it neglected the human side. Neglected the human side. Next, with respect to motivation. So, how was, according to Taylor, each worker is an economic man. What does this mean? According to Taylor, each worker will be motivated by money. So here they oversimplified the concept of motivation. Why it is said to be simplifying the concept of motivation? It viewed human motivation, human motives only in terms of money, economic, monetary terms. It neglected other aspects. What are the other aspects which are neglected? Other than money, what are the areas which may motivate? Social and psychological variables. Social and psychological variables were missing. It was criticized on the ground that it underestimated and oversimplified human motivation, human relations. Very good. Okay, human relations was the answer given by one of your friend. It examined human motivation mainly in terms of economic factors. Did not emphasize social and psychological aspects. So that was criticized as oversimplification of human motivation. Why? Because they are just concentrating on one aspect, that is economic factor. They neglected altogether the social and psychological factors. So it is also known as monistic theory, and this was proved to be wrong by Haworthorne studies. And also many thinkers who are said to be human relations and behavioralists like M.P. Follett, Peter Drucker, Oliver Sheldon, Chester Barnard, Chris Agaris. Right? Any doubt here? Okay. It received greatest opposition from labor leaders. Okay. Why labor leaders? Labor unions, they play a very important role in an organization. So here one major thing is with respect to mental revolution. So according to this concept, if there is a new outlook, what is that new outlook? Previously the outlook is managers and workers used to think that their mutual interests are opposite. Now the new outlook is their mutual interests are complementary. Then there won't be any conflict. If there is no conflict, then there won't be any need of trade unions. By this, you will be making the trade unions out of scene. Same things as explained by Taylor. Application of Taylor's principles, that is mental revolution, resolves all disputes between the employers and the workers and establish effective cooperation between them, thus making trade unions unnecessary. So, how scientific management make trade unions unnecessary? By the concept of mental revolution. If there is no mental, if with mental revolution there is no conflict, in that place you will be having cooperation. In other words, Taylorism was considered as not only a threat to their role, threat to the role of trade unions, but also to the growth of trade unions. When there is cooperation between the management, administration, and the worker, definitely there will be a threat to the role of the trade unions, and there won't be growth in the trade union movement itself, because there is no need for that. When there is no need for that, how will that grow? When there is conflict, then only it will grow, then only the need arises. In fact, investigation report by Professor Robert Haxey said that basic ideals of scientific management and labor unions are not compatible. So the ideals, the ideals of scientific management are not compatible with the ideals of labor union. So what does this mean? Say for example, secularism is an ideal of Indian constitution. Think that there is an individual. He is having communalism. Communalism has one of his ideal. So here, these two are not compatible. It was also opposed by managers due to two reasons. First, they would lose their judgment and discretion due to the adoption of scientific management. How is this? It was opposed by managers. So managers were afraid that they will be losing their judgment and discretion what they had. Why? Because there is a science of work. There is one best way found out by motion and time studies. When there is one best way to do the work, definitely all will be and should be doing the same way. So here there is no scope for judgments and discretion of the managers. Then their work and responsibility increases under Taylorism. Previously, what was the reasons for decline? What was the reasons for inefficiency in the organization? One of the thing is managers were lazy. They are not cooperative. They are putting the blame on the workers. With scientific management, definitely all these things will be gone and the work and the responsibility increases under Taylorism. Right? So did you understand a little bit? So these are the things. I have made the things in a very simple way, in a systematic way. This will suffice to a greater extent and it will compare like completely cover scientific management to a greater extent. In addition to this, I'll be providing some spicy things. So what is that? Say for example, so here if there is like with respect to the introductory part, because of scientific management, US was able to develop as a manufacturing hub. In fact, the first 5-year plan of Soviet Union was based on Taylor's principle. First, academic things related to management of the things, whether it is private or public management things, came from Taylor. So there are many other things like I will be adding up. If you just read these things, one of the most difficult aspect is over for you. Here, one point you have to keep in mind. What most of the teachers and what most of the like it is generally done, I'm not blaming anyone, and in fact that is one of the like good ways also. There is what is known as thought theory. This is the one which is almost taught at the last. At last they will say ho gaya chalo chalo. You take any subject, whether you take political science and international relations, whether you take anthropology, whether you take sociology, there is a one chapter known as thought which is difficult. This is the one which is not taught at all. This is the one which has to be taught at the very beginning. Since it is difficult, they simply pass the time. Say, for example, like, so that should not be the one. Here, you may find these things difficult, definitely different, because these are the things which you have not come across. On the other hand, if I take some of the things, say for example, legislature, executive, judiciary, which you already have a fair idea, then you feel that, wow, this is easy. No. Let us finish off some of the difficult things first. Afterwards, the everything which are left are related to polity and which are pretty easy. Okay. Workers has gear wheels. So these are the gear wheels. When they all work in synchronizing, there will be motion, there will be output. So here, what was the main intention of scientific management is to make workers as efficient as possible. So the most important concern of scientific management was to increase the production. And it does this by making human beings as efficient as and more like machines. So this is one of the biggest criticism. So it want to increase the efficiency. It want to increase the production. How it want to increase? By making humans as efficient as machines, and also by making humans like machines. It also says that it is absolutely necessary for every man in an organization to become one of the train of the gear wheels. So these are one of the trials of gear wheels. Okay. Now you make the comparison. Go home. This is a question which has asked minimum like 4 or 5 times. Comparison of bureaucratic theory and comparison of scientific management. What is the difference between these two? You compare. Then apply bureaucratic principles and scientific management to organization and government. Here, the most important thing is you have to build an organization based on this one. So if you are working in an organization, apply scientific management. See whether the bureaucratic principles can be applied. Right? Next is administrative management. This is a very simple one. Administrative management. Here you can see here scientific management. This was like more related to the shop floor and the physical aspects. To distinguish it from scientific management, which was like already very popular, they use the term administrative management. Administrative management. Here the simple funda is this. According to administrative management, we can develop principles. We can develop principles. If these principles are applied to organization, if these principles are applied to organization, then it will increase its efficiency. That's it. So, first of all, you have to find out the principles. After finding those principles, if applied to any organization, then the output of the organization or efficiency of the organization, then you may ask the question, how can you apply a principle to different organizations? The answer is given by the administrative management theory itself. They said that these principles are universal. Universal means they can be applied to any organization in any place. Are the point clear to you? If these principles are applied to an industry in America, the production will increase. If these are applied to a church, it will increase the efficiency. If these principles are applied to a mosque, a temple, a trust, into a tribal organization, in all these cases, it works. This is the central crux. Right? So now you define me. Let me see how best you have answered. What is administrative management? Please define in your own words. Okay. We'll discuss that. Principle of analysis and principle of actions. I'll discuss that. This is just a broader view of the things. We'll take up all the things one by one. We'll compare and contrast. Tivarji has given the previous year questions also. Definitely we'll discuss that. It's very great to know. So please define what is classical administration or administrative management or generic management. Simple, just keywords. Let me see. Okay, please let me know. Let me move forward, or are you trying? Okay, very nice. Based on closed model. Okay. Okay, now listen to me. Just listen to me. What is administrative management? So here, this is all about discovery and application of universal principles. So the key term is here principles. First, you are discovering those principles, and you are applying those principles. Why? Because they can improve the organization efficiency and effectiveness. So any organizations, right? So this is a very precise definition which is given in Nicholas Henry. So the most of the things what I am discussing now are taken from Nicholas Henry, one of the most important book. Administrative management is the discovery and application of universal scientific administrative principles that can improve any organization's efficiency and effectiveness. Administrative management is an assertion of positivism and universalism. The terms are important. It asserts positivism and universalism. So, what is this positivism? Positivism is that which recognize only those things which can be verified, which are based on logic, which are based on proof. Recognizing only that which can be scientifically verified. What is positivism? Only those which can be verified, which are capable of logic and proof. Universalism, applicable for anything and everything. So, what is the positivism? Administration is a science. According to them, administration is a science. Why? It is based on positivism. And it feels that its principles are universally applicable. That is universalism. So this is the most important one. This, if you understand this slide, you are done with administrative management, also known as scientific management, classical management, and many other names, right? So in the theory of closed model, this is the last literature of the school. The previous are scientific management and bureaucratic. This was developed in the first half of the 20th century. First half of the 20th century. So what do you mean by first half of the 20th century? Very good. So first half 1900 to 1950. So this was developed during this period. Administrative management reflected on it adheres desires to distinguish from the more physical scientific management. Why the proponents of this theory wanted this title? The main reason is they wanted to distinguish these theories from the scientific management. So, in place of scientific management, they in fact advocated for administrative management. So, these are the major exponents: Henry Foyle, Gulick, and Urwick. So, you also should be remembering the same. There is no need of Luther, Gulick, or Rindal, Urwick. Just Gulick and Urwick, Moni and Riley, MP Follett. So MP Follett like is like woman, she, not he, or Shelton. So these were the major exponents. And the sequence is also important in this regard. They are also known as classical theory. So if you read any Indian author's book, they use the term classical theory. In many cases, they also include scientific management and also bureaucratic theory into classical theory also. Right? I repeat, classical theory refers to those people whom I have shown. File, Gulick, Urwick, Moni, Riley, Follett, all these people. Some authors, especially in Indian books, they even add scientific management to classical theory. Generic management. What does this generic management? General management. General management means the management which can be applicable for all organizations, private, public, all. Traditional theory, formal organization theory, mechanistic theory, structural theory, management process schools. And in fact, it was March and Simon who called this administrative management. Administrative management. Okay. So this is the thing which I have already explained. What is administrative management? It is the discovery and application of universal principles. You have to add scientific and administrative also, but these are the key: discovery and application of universal principles that can improve any organization's efficiency and effectiveness. This is a very important slide. Assertion of positivism and universalism is present here. Scholars of administrative management devoted their energies to the discovery of management principles that worked in all institution settings. Means they want to have universal principles. All institutional settings, from corporate to clubs, from government to refugee camps, from any institutions, and in any and all cultural settings, in from west to east, from north to south. So Bangalore to Bosna, Paris to Patna. So any place. In this regard, as I already told you, Foyle came up with 14 principles. Gulick and Urwick came up with 7 principles. Post-Cobb. Moni and Riley, 4 principles. And in fact, Mary Parker Follett, who was said to be unusually ahead of the times, these were mechanistic theories to a greater extent. The human element was present in Mary Parker and also Moni and Riley's. What does this mean? This means that these people identified the human element which was influencing the efficiency and effectiveness and thereby the output. Previously, they never thought that human factor, human element is affecting the efficiency and effectiveness. So in this regard, like post-COB, you should be aware of these things, Money and Relay and foils like 14 principles. It is difficult to remember, and I still remember Lakshmikant sir gave a homework. All of you should remember, all of you should behead this 14 principle, and like I'll be asking tomorrow. Like almost none of us were able to reproduce. So mean to say that these are very, very difficult to remember, but you should make some acronyms so that you can easily reproduce at least majority of those things. So FOIL's 14 principles. So these are the things which we'll be discussing. You have to go through these things. So here one thing, esprit de corps, a feeling of pride, mutual loyalty shared by the members of the group. So this is also like a feeling of pride and mutual loyalty. If it is there, definitely it will increase the production. Similarly, 10 principles of Gulick, and Gulick gave for elements or the functions in the form of post-COP, planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting, and budgeting. 8 principles of organization by Urvik, and a simple explanation of these things also. So here I request all of you to go through these things. I'll be explaining the principles also as we move forward. Money and Relay, he gave 4 principles: coordination, scalar process. So scalar process is nothing but hierarchy, functional differentiation, line and staff. Okay, so here this is the one. From when the recording of these classes will be in app, very soon, very soon. Don't worry, like that is the reason we are making available the things on YouTube. So here, please give your due attention. Very important. This is one of the defect in your preparation, defect in the teaching of and also preparation of all students. These are the most important principles or the concepts which are present in the organization, but these are not mentioned in your main syllabus. But these are very, very important. Organization is based, important concepts in the organization are these, but it is not in the syllabus. Why? Any guess? I've already told you the answer. This is a very important one, but it is not in your syllabus. Why? And it has to be studied. See, if you don't study what is hierarchy, unity of command, span of control, authority and responsibility, centralization, decentralization, delegation, coordination, supervision, line and staff, you won't be understanding the things in detail. Okay, because they are part of administration and organization. Well tried, well tried. The reason was, I have already told you, previously we had optional in prelims and also in mains. They then the syllabus of prelims was different and the syllabus of mains was different. And these two put together, it used to constitute a one whole public administration or any optional. When the syllabus was changed, they removed this part, prelims. In that, these things were present. That is the reason it is not there. Otherwise, it's a very important aspect which you should be knowing. Okay. So here, like I'll be discussing once again the administrative management in a more simplified way, and also the limitations, all these things. Now, what you have to do is you have to build an organization. You have to have a mental image of these things, how this works, how to apply, how to build an organization. That's it. Chapter number 2 is over. Chapter number 3 are very, very easy: motivation, communication. If those things are also over, most of the public administration things which you have not heard of are over for you. Right? So, here, with respect to these things, like always, I always used to say one important thing: syllabus and PYQs. But here you might have seen the things I am covering are not directly present in the syllabus. The reason is they are missing. That is the one. PYQs. Here, with respect to PYQs, I am not touching the PYQs as of now. The reason being, I am teaching one of the difficult topic, and also I am teaching that area where you don't have fair idea. When I take up, say for example, the things related to Indian polity, definitely I'll be taking the previous year questions. Here, until and unless you master the whole basics, touching the previous year questions will be having a negative effect, because you feel that the subject is difficult. It is not only with this one. This is related to thought or theory. You take any option, in that these thought related questions will be very difficult to answer and comprehend, because that is based on the thought of some person, not like general common sense or the things which you have come across. Say for example, if you take political science, their western political thought, what Aristotle has said, what Socrates has said, so all these people have told different things. Without, like, in this also, these are very, very subjective. Whatever Aristotle has said, you may require one complete year to master these things. So hey, definitely we should take, and I will take. But as of now, the things I'm taking in a flow. If I take the previous year question, that flow will be lost and you will get confused. So let me conclude, like, complete the things, the basics. Afterwards, let us take the previous year questions and also the related additional topics. That will be like a gap filling, right? So hope you are all studying good. Okay. So if you have got any doubt with respect to the things which I have discussed today, please let me know, because other things we'll be discussing later. This is just beginning. And also don't worry, we just have only 4 5 theories like this. Afterwards, you don't have any other theory, right? Okay. If you don't have any doubt, let me wind up the session. Have a great day. Enjoy your preparation. Always keep this in mind. This is a journey of 1,000 miles. The syllabus is not difficult, but the exam is difficult because of huge number of competition. But the syllabus is vast. So how to tackle this? Scientific method: syllabus, previous year questions, daily, day in and day out. You master those things, everything will be a cakewalk. Right? Thank you, one and all.